it's best for all parties. Was he dangerous? Homicidal. Do you mean? Oh no. Harmless enough. Persecution mania. Very acute. Full of secret societies from China that had got him shut up. They're all the same. I shuddered. How long had he been shut up? Asked Perrault. A matter of 2 years now. I see, said Perrault quietly. It never occurred to anybody that he might be sane. The keeper permitted himself to laugh. If he was sane, what would he be doing in a lunatic asylum? They all say they're sane, you know. Perrault said no more. He took the man in to see the body. The identification came immediately. That's him, right enough, said the keeper callously. Funny sort of bloke, ain't he? Well, gentlemen, I had best go off now and make arrangements under the circumstances. We won't trouble you with the corpse much longer. If there's an inquest, you will have to appear at it, I dare say. Good morning, sir. With a rather uncouth bow, he shambled out of the room. A few minutes later, Japp arrived. The Scotland Yard inspector was jaunty and dapper, as usual. Here I am, Monsieur Perrault. What can I do for you? Thought you were off to the corral strands of somewhere or other today. My good chap, I want to know if you have ever seen this man before. He led Japp into the bedroom. The inspector stared down at the figure on the bed with a puzzled face. Let me see now. He seems sort of familiar, and I pride myself on my memory, too. Why, God bless my soul, it's Mayor Ling. And who is, or was, Mayor Ling? Secret Service chap, not one of our people. Went to Russia 5 years ago. Never heard of again. Always thought the Bolsheviks had done him in. It all fits in, said Perrault, when Japp had taken his leave, except for the fact that he seems to have died in a natural death. He stood looking down on the motionless figure with a dissatisfied frown. A puff of wind set the window curtains flying out, and he looked up sharply. I suppose you opened the windows when you laid him down on the bed, Hastings? No, I didn't, I replied. As far as I remember, they were shut. Perrault lifted his head suddenly. Shut, and now they are open. What can that mean? Somebody came in that way, I suggested. Possibly, agreed Perrault, but he spoke absently and without conviction. After a minute or two, he said, That is not exactly the point I had in mind, Hastings. If only one window was open, it would not intrigue me so much. It is both windows being open that strikes me as curious. We hurried into the other room. The sitting room window was open too. That also we left shut. Ah! He bent over the dead man, examining the corners of the mouth minutely. Then he looked up suddenly. He has been gagged, Hastings. Gagged and then poisoned. Good heavens, I exclaimed, shocked. I suppose we shall find out all about it from the post-mortem. We shall find out nothing. He was killed by inhaling strong prussic acid. It was jammed right under his nose. Then the murderer went away again, first opening all the windows. Hydrocyanic acid is